Hello everyone, Paxton here. This video is going to be a complete overview of the Lost City event that will be starting in mid-March 2025. It will probably be most hopeful for those who have never participated in the event before. After I do this video, I'll start comparing it to the one I did for the 2024 event and do a video hopefully in the next couple of days that's just covering the differences between the two. They have made a number of changes since the original event last year. So, another note, the times shown are going to be UTC -7 because I live on the west coast of the United States. If you live in other areas, you're going to need to add 7 to the time shown, and then add or subtract however many hours you are based on UTC. Let's get started. Okay. So the first thing that happens is an eligibility period. For me, that's going to be March 15th. It's going to start at March 15th at 5 p.m. It's going to run through March 25th, 5 p.m. So it looks like it's 10 days. If you're UTC time, that's going to be March 16th through March 25th. 26th? Yeah, no, 25th. During that time period, you have to reach C26 and be logged in. I don't think you have to be a C26 before this period starts, but you have to be by the time it ends. And you also have to log in during the time period. Once that time period ends, there's a 48-hour matchmaking period. During the matchmaking, the total might of all lords who meet the prerequisites in each alliance in the kingdom will be calculated and ranked. Lords who meet the prerequisites and are in the top 5 alliances will be qualified for the competition. This is where it's one of the areas where it's a little confusing, because what it sounds like is that no matter what alliance you're in, if you have a C26 or higher and you log in during the right time period, your might will be calculated and ranked and used for the matchmaking. However, only lords with a C26 who log in and are in the top 5 alliances will actually qualify for the competition. I don't think that was ever made clear exactly what was going on with that. So there's a reminder that lords intending to participate should not migrate or change alliances during the matchmaking. Once matchmaking ends, if you've qualified for the event, you can change your alliance, but you can't migrate to another kingdom. So if you want to migrate to another kingdom anytime soon, make sure you do not qualify for the event. Make sure you're not in a top 5 alliance. Now, okay, so that's the eligibility. There are other things I want to talk about, but I'll wait till I get to the correct things. Now, the schedule. After the matchmaking, the pre-expedition starts. And it looks like it's going to last 3 days this time. 72 hours. And it's from what I remember from last time, it's basically like Ace Lord. There'll be certain things, gathering and so on and so forth, that you do in your own kingdom and the pre-expedition that gets you some resources and precious items for the official event. And then the official event, when the Lost City map actually opens, that's going to be, for me, 5 p.m. on March 30th. For UTC, it's going to be midnight between March 30th and March 31st. So basically March 31st is the first day of the official event. Factions. The Lost City is fraught with danger and challenges. Hence, lords from the same kingdom are automatically grouped into a single faction. The alliance leader with the highest total might within the faction will be the original sovereign. All faction members will collectively participate in battles for each wonder in the Lost City. Now, It's worded a little different than last time, but not different enough, so the same things will probably apply. And that is, yes, everyone in your kingdom that qualifies will be in the same faction. However, your kingdom may not be the only one in your faction. So you can try to, if you have somebody in mind that you want to be sovereign of the faction, you can make them leader of one of the top 5 alliances, and you can pack that alliance with the highest might players you have, and you can keep your fingers crossed, and maybe that person will end up being sovereign. But if you get matched with another kingdom that has, say, a lot more might than you have, that strategy may fail. But it may not. There's no way to know who you're going to be matched with, or even if you're going to be matched with anyone at all. So, Chronicles. The Lost City expedition lasts 14 days, advancing through several stages over time, referred to by bards as the Chronicles. Each chronicle has a strategic objective, and lords who accomplish the objective by the end of the chronicle will be rewarded. With the progression of the Chronicles, higher level wonders, resources, and monsters will gradually become available. It's basically just goals. From what I remember last time, one chronicle was you had to capture a certain level city and maybe also defeat so many health fortresses. I don't know how long they're going to last or how many there's going to be, because this event is half the length of what it was last time. Last time it was 28 days. So, but I can't remember, and I don't remember. You can look at videos from the last event. They won't be 100% accurate because, as I said, there have been some changes, but it will give you some information as to what the hell's going on. All right, Magic Airship. This was a fun one. In the Lost City, players' troops must board a magic airship to embark, including gathering, attacking, and rallying. Boarding a magic airship will grant corresponding stat bonuses to the troops. Magic airships can be upgraded and promoted to enhance their stats. At the end of the Lost City event, the magic airship's experience points, level, and upgrade materials will be cleared, but the shards and star level will be retained. This was a fun one because basically, whenever you send out a march in the Lost City, you have to put them on an airship. You pair them with an airship. And this airship can grant you thousands of additional troops, depending on what level the airship is and how much it's been upgraded and things like that. It can be a little annoying, particularly if you're like me. I use the preset formations a lot that I have set up. Most experienced players do. And trying to adjust those for the airships is a pain in the ass. But on the other hand, those additional thousands of additional troops means that in Lost City, you can kill Hell Fortresses potentially higher than you normally can because you've got a lot more troops available. Okay, and then targets. On the Lost City map, the objectives that kingdoms contest for, it really should say factions contest for, are the various wonders scattered across the map. Occupying a wonder will grant occupation rewards and wonder buffs. When the Lost City enters settlement, when it reaches the settlement period, rewards will be distributed according to the number of high-level wonders occupied by each kingdom. And again, that should probably say faction. Now that's the thing. I won't know for sure until I do the whole comparison thing, but they are reinforcing the idea here that each faction will be just each kingdom. I don't know if that's because, once again, they failed to adequately consider translation issues, or if maybe they listened to us. I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to see when it starts. Combat. The entire map is divided into 64 territories, each with a wonder. Capturing a wonder means taking over a territory. Level 1 wonders are available by default. Unavailable wonders and the corresponding territories are shrouded in a white magical vortex, making relocation and gathering impossible. That's a big change from last time. So I'll talk about it more when I do the comparison video. Basically, you know, you'll start in one spot, and when the event opens, you'll only be able to do things in your original territory and the level 1 wonders around it. You won't be able to go past those wonders until they're available. So, you know, as the Chronicles advance, the magical vortex will gradually dissipate and higher level wonders will gradually be available. Safe zone. Each lord's initial castle is located in the safe zone of the respective factions. Castles and resource points within the safe zone are perpetually safe from attacks. Lords can capture wonders in their faction's safe zone without any valid territory connection. Yeah, I don't know why they bothered to say it like that. Point being that, you know, when the event starts and you first go to the map, you'll be in the safe zone and you can do whatever the heck you want. There's no worries in the safe zone. And in fact, as long as you stay in the safe zone, you're safe. Nothing can hurt you in the safe zone. All right, faction main base. The first wonder captured becomes the main base of the faction by default. The faction's main base can be changed by the faction leader and officers with a 24-hour interval between each change. Now that's something that's definitely different from last time, and I'm not entirely sure how that's going to play out. And what is the difference between the main base and the safe zone? Let's see. Valid territory and attack range. Territories controlled by the faction must be connected to the main base by valid territories. Commanders can only gather, contest wonders, and engage in PvP battles in their faction's safe zones, valid territories, and adjacent territories. All right, so the main base, it looks like it has to move forward as you advance across the map. I can't show it to you right now. Possibly when I do the comparison video, if I pull footage from the first event, I might be able to show the map then. But, you know, it's in some ways it's concentric. The outer ring is level 1 territories, and then there's, you know, the next ring is level 2, then level 3, level 4, you know, each time there's less of them. Goes up to, well, in the original event, it went up to level 7. And it looks like, so if it can't be, I don't know, I don't know how this is going to work. It might be that you have to advance the main base, like if you capture level 3 city before you have to capture level 4, you have to move your main base up to level 3. But then we run into the problem of invalid territories. Territories that are not connected become invalid territories. Combat cannot happen on them, and troops cannot be stationed on outer walls for defense. Invalid territories can still provide faction points. So it happened many times in the first event where an alliance or a faction had numerous territories, and then another faction came in and basically cut a path that isolated one of their territories. And it sounds like if that happens this time, that territory will become an invalid territory. And any troops that are garrisoning the wonder in that territory will be sent home. You won't, you know, if a territory gets cut off, you're screwed. You're not going to be able to hang on to it. But I'm still not sure how the valid territory and attack range is going to work. says, now, connected to the main base, I don't know if that means that it needs to share a border with the main base, or if you just have to have the territories between the main base and this new territory are all yours. It's not clear. They're not good at giving clear directions. So that's something that we'll just have to wait and see what happens. All right, cities. So the wonders, unless they've added things, the only wonders is actually a city, one city per region, so 64 cities. Now, the cities have an outer garrison and an inner city, outer city and inner city. The outer city has these NPC defenders. A certain number of powerful NPC defenders are stationed on the outer walls of wonders. The higher the wonders level, the higher the might of the NPC defenders. After the NPC defenders on the outer wall suffer losses from the first attack, a countdown will begin. Once the countdown ends, the defenders fully recover. So, if you start attacking a wall, you only have X amount of time to defeat all the NPC troops. If you fail to defeat the troops in that time frame, they suddenly bounce back and you're starting from scratch again. Each attacking team can defeat up to 3 NPC teams per attack and will automatically retreat after reaching the limit. Defeating all defenders on the outer wall means successfully occupying the outer wall, but simply occupying the outer wall does not grant control of the wonder. Lords of the faction occupying the outer wall can station their troops on the outer wall to defend against attacks from other factions. Now, I'm not sure why they say attacking team, because from what I recall, I think it says so in another section, you can't rally them. We'll see. And honestly, you've got to be pretty strong. I seem to recall my troops didn't do much even against a level 2 city. It was very depressing. Hopefully they've fixed that problem. So let's go on. So then the inner city, only the faction that occupies the outer wall can attack the inner city. The inner city has durability that slowly recovers over time. When the attacking faction reduces the inner city's durability to 0, they occupy the wonder. The inner city battle involves fighting a weaker NPC team in the inner city. Upon victory, the durability of the inner city is reduced according to the raid value of the chariot used. Oh, see, now that's just a mess up between the... It's supposed to be raid value of the airship used. Chariot, I believe, is what they use in their sister game, Puzzles and Survival. So it might be from their newest one, whose name escapes me at the moment. Puzzles and Chaos. All 3 of those games, Puzzles and Conquest, Puzzles and Survival, Puzzles and Chaos, are all the same game, essentially, with minor variations and different looks. Puzzles and Survivors is zombie-based. Anyway, sidetrack. Anyway, then the troops return. The main forces of the Lords will not directly clash here. PvP battle. When a Lord's faction occupies a wonder, they can station troops on the outer wall, and the NPC defenders will also assist the occupying faction in combat. Battles on the outer wall cannot be rallied. So it might just be if a faction is defending, they can't be rallied. Each troop will fight against opposing factions in the order they arrive from earliest to latest. Battles on the outer wall will activate the morale rule. Morale is N% of remaining troops at the start of the battle. During the battle, the stats of the units will decrease to N% according to the morale. Okay, they've just made it even more confusing. Wow. Just when I thought things couldn't get worse. Capturing wonders, regardless of attacking the outer wall or any city, Magicite is required. Magicite replenishes over time, but will stop increasing upon hitting its cap. After each wonder changes hands, it enters a truce period for a few hours, during which the wonder is invincible and cannot be attacked. Upon the first occupation of each wonder, the top 3 killers and top 3 demolishers of the attack from the occupying faction will be rewarded. Upon the first occupation of each wonder, wonder chests will be randomly distributed. The higher the wonder's level, the better the chest. Faction officials can abandon wonders. It takes 1 hour for the abandonment to succeed, during which it can be canceled at any time. If an abandoned wonder is in a truce period, the truce period will immediately be cleared. This is an important thing to note. While engaged in battles in the Lost City map, any wounded or fallen soldiers will enter the shrine. So this works a lot like the Kingdom Infirmary for VC, or I suppose an even more apt comparison would be the Infirmary for Dragondom. So the shrine will produce revival crystals over time for troop revival, similar to the time altars for your own personal castle. Also, limit to revival castles, and production will stop once the limit is reached. Lords can also use diamonds. The shrine will instantly heal 20% of the soldiers in it for free every Thursday at, it says 4 p.m. because it hasn't adjusted for the time change yet. We're going to change our clocks soon. So when the event's actually happening, it's going to be Thursday at 5 p.m. for me, Friday UTC. It's interesting that it's still only once a week, considering now the event's only 2 weeks long. At the end of the last Chronicle of the Lost City, the shrine will stop producing revival crystals and close after 24 hours. Upon the closure of the shrine, 80% of the troops still in it will be healed, and 20% will die. So first, we've got 20% healing every week, but then at the end, 20% will die. So keep that in mind when deciding how much effort and stuff you're going to put into getting people out of the shrine. All right, and then the rewards. There are rewards for the faction. The final ranking will be determined on these points at the time the event ends. Oh, level 8. I guess maybe there was a level 8. Maybe we didn't get that far last time. So this, it's what you're holding at the time the event ends. So, it doesn't matter if you get level 6 2 days before. If you're not holding it when the event ends, you won't get those points. And then, of course, there's a kills rank. So troops wounded and killed will be converted into points based on their quantity and level, and then ranked. And then Lost City, at the end, the event rewards will be distributed based on the rankings. There are some quests. Both, I seem to recall there's both personal and faction quests. Again, until I get the comparison done, if you want to look through the videos from the last event, they're still up. You might find, you can find more information about how stuff went there. But I'll warn you, I do a lot of complaining. Just as a heads up. And then during the Lost City event, or during the Lost City expedition, the Lost City Exchange Shop opens for a limited time. It sounds like maybe it might be open before the end of the event. Last time we had to wait till after it was over, if I remember correctly. So anyway, that is the overview of the event as they're running it this time. Again, I hope to have a comparison video up soon, talking about how things have changed from the last time, and hopefully including clips of last time to explain better. Well, I don't like to do these long videos. Nobody watches them. So I'll probably try and split that one up into more sections. But anyway, that's what we know so far. So have fun and good luck.